Howdy everyone. Uh, Hello. Oh, I forgot to warm up my voice. I forgot to warm up my voice. Okay, well, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. Okay, it is, I think, Wednesday. All of a sudden, wow, that's pretty quick. Okay, it's still very gloomy like yesterday, so it's not really a big problem. You know, my house is slightly empty. So it's totally fine. Everything feels kind of okay. You know, one thing I rancor is when it's raining and at the same time the house is very stuffy. I don't really like that. I really dislike that. I really like different things, I don't really like it when it's raining and at the same time the house is very stuffy. I don't like it. One bit I do not like it. I like it when it's raining and and the house is very empty. Okay, so this morning I had the strangest dream. I'm not even joking. This is one of the strangest dreams I've ever had. Now every day I have a strange dream, or I guess most of the time I do, and today's dream was no exception on the weird list. Okay, I can't remember how it started, but for some reason I was in school again. And I don't know why, especially in high school. I only spent 2 years in high school, so I don't really know why I had that dream, but okay. Then we had this strange teacher. My desk, uh, obviously the way we had our desks seated is a bit different compared to American desks or American schools, you know. Uh, So we had rows of three, and the desks were pushed right in front of the teachers' desks. And I was sitting right in front. At the end of the row, I was sitting, and next to me there was this girl. Never saw her in my life. I guess it's all the random images that I've looked upon, pacing together and making someone. And then obviously, I wasn't a trans woman in this dream. I was just a boy. I think I traveled back in time. And then, all of a sudden, something crazy happened. Um, they were handing out worksheets, and then the teacher told us on our books to write something like a couple of times over and over again. I completely forgot what she said, and then I was looking at the girl that was sitting next to me. I was looking at her work, and I was trying to understand what's going on. It seems like she liked me. That's what it seemed like, very kind, very sweet. That's what it seemed like. Then, of course, the teachers were collecting the work. The teacher was collecting the worksheet. I never added my worksheet in. And then, like an idiot, I sat there with the worksheet until, you know, I can't remember if she left or something like that, or it was break time, but I swiftly went, took the worksheet, my worksheet, and put it uh, in a plastic sleeve where all the other worksheets were, which was inside a drawer, and then obviously she caught me, and then I said, oh no, I was just doing something. I said a silly excuse, and that's it. But no, it gets even weirder. There were Smurfs in my dream, and Superman, and then there was this trans woman. I can't remember what happened, and then something was going on, then I woke up. It's a very strange dream. Sorry for the time skipping and all the crazy reenactments, but let's be real for a moment. It's a very weird one. I can't remember everything from these weird dreams, and I like to forget this one, some of it anyways. The school part is kind of interesting, you know, because I never saw that teacher before, nor did I see that student before, you know. It really sucks because I've always had school dreams, especially ones where I'm in primary school. But this one was a bit different because I was in high school, you know. Normally I would have dreams where it's a bit of a mixture, you know. It was like I am in high school, but all of a sudden I'm in my primary school instead. Well, I don't know how America works with that. I think they have like three types of schools, grade school, middle school, and high school. or something of the sort, but honestly we have only two, primary and secondary, and also tertiary as well, which is universities and colleges, but we don't really call that part of the government school, you know. So ladies and gents, it has been a very interesting day so far. It's early in the morning, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Kind of crazy actually how time flies by. Last night something crazy happened. Time was slower than a turtle, because I was just waiting for the time to pass. I thought it was like hours gone by, but no, it was actually like 9 o'clock, and then it was 10 o'clock and 11. It took so slow. I really like slow days. Maybe that's just me, but I like the fact that when things are slower, because you get to do a lot more things during that time. So I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this because, it's very important to talk about this. You know, what is this? Read the title. Hiring localization positions. Applicants assured Japanese language knowledge is a plus but not required. Let's focus on this for a second. Okay? You are localizing games, especially from Japan. Your job is to translate them into English. But it seems like this company does not give a freaking frick. I think I've heard of this company in the past. They have been into some controversies as well with localizing, And some of these localizers, not all of them, but majority of them, they always like to brag about it online, and for some reason they're so political, you know. You know, like you don't even need to. Like these games look like from Japan, okay? So why the hell don't you need? Why the hell? Why the hell? Let me rework that sentence. Why the hell do you want to even hire people in the first place? You know? And that's the thing I want to point out as well. People in the past, they have made up complete crap when it came to these games. They really, really made up a lot of stuff. It's sad. It really is sad that stuff like this, uh, it's changed so much, Imagine working on an original work, and all of a sudden these bastards come over, pardon my language, but they come over and start changing it and telling you how your story should be. That's not right, okay? If my story is written in English, it should be written the same in Japanese. Obviously the words are going to be a bit different because the sentencing is a bit different, but the same story will stay the same. The characters will stay the same, no crazy stuff happening. So it is really insane. It's really insane. This is why I do not trust a lot of English translators or companies that actually will translate in multi-languages as well. Because you need to understand that it doesn't seem like many of them care about actual faithful localization. All they care about is just putting their own nonsense in. And that fucking sucks. That fucking sucks. Pardon my language, but it sucks. It's like, do your job. It's not gonna hurt to do your job, But I guess for some people, it's difficult, We then have the Tolkien Society, guys. Tolkien Society. If you don't know what the Tolkien Society is, let me just briefly show you. Let me just briefly show you what they are. Well, I don't even know that much about them, but it seems like they are basically major fans of Tolkien. Also, and the Tolkien Society is an educational charity, literary society, an international fan club devoted to promoting the life and works of J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, already that sounds lovely, right? Charity, education, that sounds lovely on pen and paper. But let me assure you, this is not pen and paper, this is woke and paper, okay? They are literally focusing on pushing politics in this, okay? If you look at last year's videos on the Tolkien Society, last year's stuff, you need to look at that, okay? They have crazy things about transgenders and race and queerness and atheism and all this crazy stuff pushed upon. It seems like they really focus on themselves rather than Token, instead of commingling together, you know. Okay, so, okay, it's gonna be held on Thursday, 1st September, which is basically a day the Rings of Power releases, so kind of interesting, isn't it? Okay. But this year's promised to be as diverse and exciting as we ever had. You may think, oh, diversity, that sounds good. Well, in the words of a woke person, diversity means checking an old checkbox, and that's basically it. You know? Okay, let's start reading. Tolkien and the Old Norse for Dummies. In a hole and in the ground, okay. No time for that either, okay? Oh my god, look at this stuff. We have so, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Okay, colors, we have decision, fellowship. This isn't as woke as the others, but trust me, there is something that's woke. Here we go. There we go. Culture warrior, the alt-right religious crusades appropriation of Tolkien. This isn't as woke as last year's one, but that big wokeness is problem. Look at that. The alt-right religious crusades appropriation. What does that even mean? What does it even mean? Okay, it's crazy that the same people who are always obsessed about the alt-right, uh, are so radical for some reason. It's crazy. So once again, like the rest of the stuff seems interesting. A possible Welsh source, an environmental bio approach. Reading Tolkien in the 1950s, the three faces of a wizard. Like a lost poem from Middle Earth, stuff like that. Then we have, then we have stuff like, uh, alt-right stuff. Like, oh, the alt-right religious crusade. Like, they are the ones obsessed about the alt-right. Okay. Culture warrior. Are they calling him a culture warrior? Like, what is this? I would like to hear this, because it's interesting to hear what they will say about this, because once again, many of these people out there like to push themselves before Tolkien. They focus more on themselves than Tolkien. They don't care about pushing for good educational stuff. Many of these people are brainwashed. Okay, I'm just saying. It's gonna be the wokest thing ever. Okay, and last year was pretty woke, so this year it'll be slightly less woke. But with that one specific seminar, that's gonna be the woke cherry on top. And the craziest thing is that a lot of people will believe them. They appropriate Tolkien's work, and then they complain about the right appropriating Tolkien's work. Hypocrisy. Exactly. You know? Look at this. This is the funniest response. Tolkien. My inspirations, I've spoken about it many times, I took from Catholic faith and medieval European folklore, combine them together to create the law. Very simple to understand since I was born in 1892. Some losers in 2022. Actually, he was inspired from modern day San Francisco. That's right. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they say that. The alt-right wants to appropriate tokens, say the leftists who are trying to appropriate for communism. Exactly. They're trying their hardest to make it about themselves, you know? And when they mean alt-right, you're not talking about those people, those evil people, that possess the same evil mindset like them. They're talking about the kind-hearted people that are defending Tolkien's work. People like Nerdrotic, people like just some guy. Those guys are not alt-right. They are anything but alt-right. They are not close to alt-right. Okay, not even close to right-wing. So when they say stuff like that, they're always targeting the innocent people that isn't alt-right. It's so difficult to say this because obviously not everyone listens to this. SJWs are using anything they can to indoctrinate people. That's the truth as well. Hey, look, it's me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's me. These people are using Tolkien to continue to fight us in the culture war. They are also using his works to push for ideologies he would have been 100% against if he was alive. What I'm trying to say is that, hey, they are using this to fight us in the culture war. Because here's the thing. Here's an important thing. We didn't bring the culture war to Middle Earth. The people working at Rings of Power, and all the other woke organizations for Lord of the Rings, they are the ones bringing the culture war to us. Okay? We could care less about what's going on over there, but all of a sudden when they start accusing innocent people of being racist and sexist, then what? It's our business to protect people, It's kind of crazy how they want to use this for their own promotion rather than tell a good story. Rings of Power is gonna be a woke fest, and I tell you that for sure. It's not gonna be a fun series to look at all. So I'm just saying it's gonna be a sad one, a sour one, in fact. And when I point this out, it's just me being truthful. These people who are working on the Rings of Power, they don't like a lot of Tolkien's worldviews. Once again, they want to push their own worldviews. They want it to be modernized for the current age. Okay. Can you spot all the signs of racism in this patriotic picture? Nope, I can't even. Can't. Racism is everywhere, especially on July 4th. To be a good anti-racist, you must train yourself to see racism everywhere and then loudly and obnoxiously point it out to everyone you meet. Take a look at this patriotic photograph of a family watching fireworks. See if you can spot all the hidden racism. Everyone in this picture is white. We're starting with the easy ones here, of course. You have this guy, we have this girl, we have the dog. The dog is even white, honestly. The children are white. The boy is wearing a blue shirt. The word blue has the same number of the letter, same number of letters as the words Nazi. Coincidence? No. The little girl is holding up a finger, signifying that there's only one race, the human race. A callous regard for the lived experiences of black bodies. And it's crazy because people actually think like this. This is satire, but people actually think like this, and that's the sad part. And there are millions of them who think like this, okay? Actually smiling. Look at that, how dare they smile? How dare a dog smile? When racism still exists. Unreal, guys, unreal. There's a basket in the picture. Do you know who else use baskets? Slaves, like this is how people actually think, by the way. The normies, the SJWs, this is how they think. They've been thinking like this for the last few years. They always try and tie everything to something and try and get it banned. If you turn your head and squint, you can clearly see the letters KKK spelled out in the fireworks. Hold on, was that actually there? Let me just see. Nope, it's not there. They actually photoshopped it. You see, like, this is how people are. Really, I'm not even joking. There is no dad in the picture. There is no dad. This is because their dad is in jail for rioting in the capital on Jan 6th. For all the other races, the girl is wearing a cowboy hat, just like a border patrol agent. She's probably hiding a whoop too. Remember when this happened, honestly? That was like the most American thing ever to witness in the current day and age. People getting whooped by cowboys. That's the most, not whooped, but lassoed around. That's the most American thing ever. The picture features fireworks culturally appropriated from China. The invention of proud culture is used in this crude patriotic ceremony. Sad. 9. White fireworks outshine the blackness of space. This is called atmospheric racism. Educate yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually true. None of the kids appeared to have been aborted. Typical white privilege. Oh, and don't forget the American flag, the most racist symbol of them all. Okay. So that's a funny article. That's a funny article. Oh yeah. So yeah, there's a lot to discuss when it comes to crazy stuff like this. Okay, everyone. So we have this guy, Mark Hamill. I'm not into Star Wars. I could care less about Star Wars whatsoever. It's not something I care about, to be fair. But I really support people who actually like the old show and really wish the current shows will be like that. But it's going to be impossible. Uh, People who adopt other people's babies are creepy, terrible people, said Hamill to reporters. It's kind of crazy how people like this. This is what he actually said. Okay, not literally. He didn't say this. He didn't say this, but he posted a tweet online, and here's a picture of Joker and um, Harley Quinn. From the old cartoon, and he put them together, and then he said, "We will adopt your children." Trying to diss people who adopt children, basically, and say it's wrong. I'm sure he's trying to say something about the abortion stuff, but still, it's like to literally say that about people, it's so gross, honestly. And no one called him out upon that. A lot of people are adopted. No one will call him out on his shtick unless excuse me, unless he actually likes Bette Midler's tweet, which he did. He liked Bette Midler's tweet, which was basically somehow transphobic to some Twitter users. So people are railing on him now, and that's what I want to point out. These people that they accumulated as followers on Twitter, guess what? Guess what? They're not gonna give you hugs and kisses for everything you do. And once again, I don't want to see a lot of people on the right defending these people all the time. You know why? You can agree with them on their stances and different things, but just remember, they rancor you. They don't even want your children to be adopted. Okay, that's just how sick they are. Okay, they don't want your children to be adopted, or any child to be adopted, rather to be killed than be adopted. That's just how crazy it is. Honestly, these celebrities out of their mind. So I'm just saying, people like this, they may agree with you on one, two things or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're still a hardcore social justice warrior. They're still hardcore against so many things that you like. They would be totally fine to see you go. Okay, okay. So I'm not gonna weep or whatever, because at the end of the day, this is what happens. As I said, you can agree with him on what he says or whatever, on certain things. You can still do that. Like some people who rancor Bette Midler are now agreeing with her on this one trans issue. You know. So at the end of the day, it seems like even though you can disagree with them with all your might, you can still agree with them on one thing. But still, don't get the idea that they are buddies now because of this. I don't get why the right thinks anytime someone pops up, and says something like, something that the Twitter folks ran call. It sounds fun. I'm okay. How are you? You know, as I was saying, you know, we we shouldn't be inviting them in because at the same time they still ate us. So don't think just because they agree with one thing of our words that doesn't mean they are totally with us. It's really sad. It really is sad, honestly. But this is the audience they accumulated over the past few years. This is the audience. I'm doing good, just having a hard time, so I thought I'd join. Also been focused on Fire Emblem, Three Hopes, and Dusk Diver on my Switch. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I've been playing Monster Hunter all day. Oh, odd time sleeping. Odd time sleeping. I also have odd time sleeping, so I'll watch a couple of stuff on YouTube, and then I slowly fall asleep. Okay. So as I was saying, um, I'm I'm really looking forward to see how things go for Mark Hamill and Bette Midler, because both of them, are really getting attacked by their own audience. So it's interesting to see what's to come. Obviously, I don't like anything bad to happen. Obviously not. Um, but still, it's like these people surrounded themselves with crazy people like that who now attack them. They're being attacked by crazy people. And they shouldn't be surprised because they're the ones who accumulated that audience in the first place. They defended people like that, so, well, let's just see how things turn out. Even with J.K. Rowling, as much as I think J.K. Rowling is right about so many things, yeah, I usually watch ASMR to help with sleep. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Long ago, I used to listen to subliminals to help me sleep. Well, not really help me sleep, but to be there while I sleep, you know? Because I would hear that subliminals will help a lot more while you're sleeping, you know? So I used to sleep with the headphones on. It was very uncomfortable, but still, pretty fun. So as I was saying, like J.K. Rowling, as much as I think she's right about certain issues, she still accumulated that audience. She still accumulated that audience. And now they're coming after her. So once you accumulate this type of audience, they'll come after you because they think they own you. Okay, that was a mouthful to explain. Anyways, I'm charging my Switch right now. Last night I was playing and playing on my Switch, and then I got tired, and I can't really play too much at night, mostly because of my migraines. You know, I do have these really cool anti-glare glasses, but they don't really stop migraines that much. Yeah, like there are weeks where I can go without migraines compared to the past where I would get one migraine a week. So it is somewhat helpful, yes, but I still get migraines. I still get migraines. My job is always in front of the computer. I'm always working in front of the computer. I'm always typing. I'm always watching something in the background, you know? So migraines can come anytime. And that's why I don't really play a lot of games on my Xbox anymore. Not because I don't want to, it's because I want to, but the migraines come in. A couple of months ago, I was recording videos for this channel, Monster Hunter videos. As I was recording that, I sat down on my bed and played for 3 hours, okay, with my glasses on. And my migraines just came. It just came and haunted me so much. Oh, that sucks. Sorry to hear about that. Thank you. Um, yeah, migraines are the worst, so I always try to prevent them. The best way to prevent them is by obviously anti-blue light glasses and stuff, and also drinking a lot of water, because water can help. If you're very dehydrated, you know, water can help. I don't know if migraines are also caused by constipation. I don't know, but I think in the past it used to be causing my migraines. But anyways, yeah, I don't really play as much on my Xbox as I want to. I really want to play more, but it's so difficult to play. Because migraines always creep around the corner and catch you when you least expect it. Anyways, yeah, so I'm charging my Nintendo Switch. And I have to say, it's really cool. I'm glad I got the Switch. It's so good with video games. I've also purchased a couple of other games as well. I purchased uh, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and I also purchased Townsmen, a very cute game about managing a medieval city. It's wonderful. It's so wonderful. And the cool thing about that game specifically is that the game does not eat up the battery compared to other games like Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak. It doesn't eat up the battery, so I can be playing for hours and hours without charging it, which is amazing. So I really like when games have a good battery, a longer battery effect compared to games which eats up the battery, because that really sucks when it does that. Because I have a light switch, and light switches aren't really known for its good battery usage. So I try my best to make sure that the battery survives for a couple of days. I don't play every day, so the battery does survive. But still, I really, really, really wish the Switch battery was a bit better. I would have said to check out Dusk Diver since it's pretty underrated, but considering how many bright lights effects it has, I imagine it give you a migraine. Unfortunately, oh yeah, sometimes bright lights can be the worst. They can always cause something. So okay, so okay, I agree. The Switch is awesome. I've been playing it way more than my PS4 and Xbox One. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Um, I got my Switch recently, so obviously I don't really have as much play hours compared to my Xbox or even my PSP, because I had my PSP way back in the day, and I would play with it for hours and hours. You know, it's so cool to have a portable device rather than having something glued to the TV. You know, because with the Switch you can play with it like a portable console, and that's great. That's one thing I like about the Switch is the privacy, because there are times where I'm playing a video game and it's on my Xbox, and since it's right in front of the on the TV, people walking past can look at it and stare at it, and I always like privacy. So even when I'm not playing adult games, I like privacy, you know. And I barely play adult games, but I'm just saying it's like, I like privacy. I really like privacy. You know, privacy is so awesome. That's why I like the Switch, because it's handheld. I can take it wherever I want to, sit on my bed and play. That's it. That's it. I don't have to plug something on and put the disc in. I can just play. It's so cool, honestly. So, anyways, um, so anyways, um, I am thinking of obviously upgrading to one console, because you need to understand that I really want to transfer my saved file from my Xbox One to maybe an Xbox Series S. I say this because, you know, I don't think my Xbox is gonna. Okay, mine I got in November 2021. Oh, I got mine in December. I got mine on December last year, so just a month after yours. Um, I'm even thinking of making games for the Switch, because it's so cool. It's so cool. Honestly, I really, really, really want to make games for the Switch and PC, because it's amazing, a portable device. And the cool thing about the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, or just Nintendo in general, they don't censor games. They don't censor games compared to PlayStation. So if I have to make a console game, I will obviously gladly go by Nintendo and make games for them, because I can be a bit more creative. I have a couple of ideas for adult games as well. I think they'll fit perfectly for the Switch, you know? Um, so anyways, I want to make more videos about her, you know? I have made one video about her, you know? She's really beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's just, it's hard to play the video from YouTube, but I really want to make more videos on her specifically because, okay, can you see? I'm not sure if you can see it, but okay, yeah, you can see it. I really want to make more videos on this girl because beautiful, so beautiful. Um, you know, when it comes to transitioning, yeah, absolutely agree. And ironic since Nintendo is very family friendly. Exactly. You know, PlayStation used to be so cool with all its amazing content back in the day, but now they've become so censored, you know? They only want to censor games, even blood, okay, gore and stuff like that. They censor that for some reason, you know, as if it's so offensive. I remember the Naruto game, you know, like instead of blood, there was just black goo everywhere. That doesn't look right. I mean, from an artistic standpoint, sure, but I think they could have, you know, added blood instead. It really sucks that they did not add blood, you know. And even in Dragon Ball Kakarot, they took out the blood, and I can't remember what they did with it. I think they replaced it with with black. That's all they did, you know. So even these anime games, they also censor, and it's not fair. It's not fair at all, you know. And that's one thing I worry about Monster Hunter, because if you don't know, Capcom will have to work very closely with PlayStation, even though they release their games on all platforms. You know, specifically, they'll have to go by PlayStation's guidelines. And since Sony is in California right now, obviously the guidelines, the guidelines, I can't even say the word. I'm so freaking out because, you know, I worry that Monster Hunter 6, you know, which might come out next year, will be a total woke fest. I worry about that because, you know, they're trying to, you know, to be with Sony as well, you know. So it will really be bad if stuff like that happens, you know. Sony is not the gaming champion as it used to be. You know, a lot of people keep praising them, obviously because of their good graphical games, but that's it. That's literally it. You know, take out the graphics out, you're left with what are you left with, you know? And the craziest thing about PlayStation is that many of the companies are woke as frick. Okay, I mean woke. I mean so woke. Okay, you know when there was this leak for the Roe v. Wade thing being overturned from the Supreme Court. The PlayStation president, one of the PlayStation presidents, told his employees in an email to respect other people's opinions. You don't have to agree with them, just respect it. And they were so mad. They were fuming. You know, the fact that someone told them to respect someone with a different opinion, they were mad at that. You know, so I'm not surprised a bunch of people who work at PlayStation and also work for the companies PlayStation acquired are total woke people. I'm not surprised. You know? Okay, so I'm guessing you know I should make a video about her. I already made a video about her, but I want to make another one because she's so beautiful. She is so beautiful. Okay, she is very beautiful. You know. And speaking about her, I don't know how many surgeries she had. I don't know. I don't know that much about her. I've seen a before and after image, like this one, for instance. This one. Okay, can I pause it? This one, as you can see, this is before. You can see, very, very handsome, very simple. Censorship hurts both the customers and the devs. Exactly. You know, I don't want to pay for a game that's heavily censored. I don't want to play a game that's heavily censored. I would like to see the proper content that what the devs wanted to make in the first place, you know? Anyways, this is before, and then we have after, Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, I don't know how much surgery she had. That's one thing I really would like to know. Um, because I need to save up for my surgery as well. Obviously, I'm not gonna get everything. I'm not gonna get the snip, I'm not gonna get it cut off because why would I do that, I've heard how painful it is, and the aftermath of that surgery down there will be very, very crazy because I hear it pains when you pee and stuff like that, and it bleeds and stuff like that, and it's not gonna be the best thing. So obviously, the best thing to do the best thing to do is obviously just have facial surgery over here. I want to have chest surgery, but I'm sure the hormones will help because there are times where hormones can actually raise it up, which is fine, which is very fine, you know. Obviously, the hormones will actually help me with increasing the fats around my leg, which is gonna be good, interesting, you know. I want to look very beautiful, okay? I want to look very beautiful. Uh, Now, will I change my style of clothing? I don't really think so. I think I'll keep it very similar. I won't really wear a lot of like fancy stuff or short stuff unless I'm at home. You know, I don't really swim, but I will still wear bikinis. You know, um, so yeah, I'm not gonna get the snip. I'm not gonna get major surgeries, but I will rely heavily on the hormones. You know, and they're like miracles because they can make your legs very big. But anyways, as I was saying about Sony, I don't want to make games for them. I rather not make games for them. No Xbox, I rather make games for Nintendo because once again, you can make very simple games with that console. Sure, it's not powerful as Xbox or PlayStation, but you can still make games out of it. A lot of people really ignore what games you can make from this on the Switch, because you can make some really good games, and I really want to, make games for the Switch. And guess what? Guess what? Compared to other companies, anyone can make a game for Nintendo Switch. You don't need to have all these expensive stuff just to make a game. Obviously, you need your gaming setup and whatever, but you don't need like major kits from all the companies and whatever. We don't need to do that because Nintendo will actually, send you something to test it out. I'm sure a program, so you can test it out on your laptop instead or your PC instead, which is great. And also, you can also make physical copies of games. So someone like me who isn't in the mainstream can make very, very interesting games that's physical. People can buy them, that will be amazing, you know? Like, it's so amazing. One day I'll show you how things work with that because you can easily sign up. You can easily sign up, you know? And that's the thing I like about Nintendo. It's more easy to sign up, especially if you are indie dev compared to other consoles where it's much more difficult, And I want to make my games physical as well because then people can see it more often in different stores, and people can buy it. I don't want to make my games. Switch may not be that powerful, but it has a ton of great games, which what really matters exactly. And also, what about these games is that they have to be fun. You can't just make a boring game. You have to make a fun game. You know. So I want my games to be fun. I want them to be focused on. Okay, let me open a WordPad so I can write things down. I want my games to be fun. I want my games to also, if it's story driven, I want it to have an interesting story. I want the gameplay, most importantly, the gameplay to be the most important aspect. I want that to be the most important aspect of the game. I want the game to be working well. And the most important thing is no DLCs. No DLCs, payment after what you purchase, you know? I want the game to be completely filled to the brim of content because that's much better. Okay, my mouse disappeared. Oh no. Okay, while that loads, we can just look at other stuff. But honestly, I don't know if I'll ever try on shorts like this. I don't know. I think it will be very awkward, you know? Unless I have the snip, it'll be very awkward, you know? Because then you can lift it up more higher. It'll be so hard to wear stuff like that because it's gonna really press against that, you know? So unless I have the snip, unless I actually completely chop it off, which I don't want to. I don't want to. I wouldn't mind it, but the surgery will be too much, you know? I wouldn't mind the pain and stuff, you know? But to be fair, to be very fair, I feel like that's just too much surgery for my own health. I'd rather just have little surgery and that's it. You know? That's it. So one day you'll see me wearing stuff like this and dancing around and stuff like that, you know? Um, okay. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that. Okay. So, what I want in my game is obviously, it has to be good. Now, this is very much based on the player, but obviously it's based on the player. You know, run well. Now it has to run well on the Switch, obviously. You know, interesting story. I kind of doubt all of my stories, especially on the Switch, will be interesting. I think they'll be very different. I definitely would like my stories to be act and slash style games, either like Platinum titles or the Dynasty Warrior titles. I want to make my games in different styles. You know, some can be 3D, and some can be 2D. Some can be a mixture of both. Some can be, you know, a platformer. Some can be just a fighter. You know, it depends on what the story is about and how I would like to tell that story off. You know, okay, interesting story, runs well, good. Now that is only based on the player. Fun. It has to be fun. Now this also is based on the player to some degree, but once again, you know, as someone who has to also test out the game, I have to enjoy it as well. I have to make sure it's very fun for the players, you know. Must also possess challenges. Not all games of mine will be very difficult, but there should be certain amounts of challenges. Certain amounts. Not too much, but just a couple of them to really test the player and really make them have fun, you know, to take on challenging stuff. What else? The music. Music, it depends on what the game is about. If it's a medieval game, I would like the music to be very close to that theme, you know, and it just depends on what the story is about, really, you know. When it comes to voices, you know, and this is something very important I want to point out. When it comes to voices, the problem with voices is that, you know, it will cost a lot of money, yes, but I'm prepared to, you know, put some money down the line to have voice actors and actresses play some of the characters in the video games, you know. And it'll also depend on what type of game it's, you know. If it's a game that's very story driven, you'll hear a lot more voices. Whereas if it's a game that's very much focuses majority on gameplay and the story is very much minuscule, then you'll basically hear a couple of voices and that's it, you know. When it comes to what else, I guess that's basically it. It should be good, it should run well, interesting story, fun, challenges, There should be music, voices, and of course, I don't know, there should be more settings. Now, what do I mean by settings? Obviously, this isn't just your basic volume high and volume low settings. We're also talking about certain other types of settings that can actually make, certain types of players more into the game. Now, I don't mean change the difficulty altogether. I mean something whereas you can edit certain icons on the screen to make them appear big, small. You can maybe change the font size or even the font as well. Small settings. Not really something so big, but settings that can actually make the game a bit better for people to play. Okay. Alright, waifu, I'm gonna head out. Getting sleepy now. Thanks for the stream. Hope you have a good day. Have a good night's rest. Bye. Alright then. So here we have another woman who I would love to make like hundreds of videos of, but I'm worried, because I already made a bunch of videos about her, and the thing is that she's just shaking away, and I worry if YouTube might censor that. I worry so much, but we'll just see what happens, and how YouTube performs. They've only managed to give me one warning, so I think I should be a bit grateful. But still, I really wish that they did not give me the warning. Okay. This is a different account that compiles different women together. So I think it's a very cool account because they also reference them as well. So if you're interested in their own content, you can check them out too. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful stuff altogether. Not everything in TikTok is great, but some stuff in TikTok is amazing. Some stuff in TikTok is really amazing. Like one of the trans stuff. This trans stuff specifically. It's gonna take some time to load. I'll be back. I mean, look at these stuff, for instance. They're so beautiful. Like this. It's either they had surgery or they tucked. And of course, it seems like they possibly did something, I don't know. But still, like, my hips will be like this, To have chests like these, I need to have surgery. But my chest will form, it's just, I need surgery. If I want chests like these, surgery, okay? Maybe my chest will grow like these, but I will need surgery. I don't know if I should get that surgery, to be fair, because I do worry maybe it could be bad. But I don't know, I really want to be happy. Like, look at that. My butt can be that big. It can be this big, like, ginormous. Or like this, Alright then. I guess that's it as well for this, because it's almost an hour. I have to go. Have an amazing day. Take care. Bye.